Alright, how you guys all doing? Earlier this week, I surprised my girlfriend taking her on a date. I planned, because she had a bad week of school, a bad week of soccer, so maybe woke her up by bringing her flowers, making her breakfast, taking her to the beach, going to the movies, and then taking her on a little dinner date. But what I noticed most throughout the whole time going on that date, she wouldn't get off her phone. She kept going on her phone, checked Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. I don't know if she was on Twitter to tweet something like, oh, my boyfriend's so amazing, or to say like, he does all these things for me, I can't believe I'm with him. I don't know. We were having a good time. I thought so. But it made me feel like a little bit upset because she kept going on way too much, and I was like, look at the things I'm doing for you right now, trying to make you happy and all these things and stuff. I ain't doing this for nothing, I'm just trying to make you happy. So she ended up telling me like, why are you getting so mad? It's like, worry about like going around socializing, looking around and stuff, all the beautiful things that are going around us, the beach, the water, everything that's going around us. Get off your phone. It's time just to relax. Don't worry about any problems, drama, or anything. I'm trying to get you away from that. And that's where you go. Because the number one distraction that everybody gets through is the cell phone. And today, I would just like to talk about the different causes. Oh wait, I wasn't supposed to do slides. Today I would like to just talk about the different like outcomes while using the cell phone going throughout. And the most people that distracts the cell phone is students. Students around the nation use the cell phone all the time in class. I did a research and by a girl named Sydney Fulbright, a woman who has her PhD in the health science field, says that students who go on the phone often in class starts to affect their learning skills, going around paying attention, starts hurting their paying attention, and start to do bad in the class by going on the phone. And here are just some examples of this girl right here going, let me call you back, the teacher distracted me. When the teacher is obviously trying to like get through her lesson and stuff. And you can walk around this campus right now, and I bet within 10 seconds, you'll see 15, 20 people all just looking down their phone, clueless to what's going around them. And all you see is people. Some people like, fake like they're doing something on the phone just so they can fit in with people. Like, really? And so it just made me like, why do people do that? Like, I find it so clueless, and it's mostly in the classrooms, out of all of them. 80 to 90% of students have checked their phone at least once in this class, or at any time. I'll admit, I checked my phone like 10 times in this class. Sorry. But I'm not the only one. There's always someone on the phone all the time, either whether it's a game, just to text someone, or just to look at someone else's life, what they're doing, and forgetting what they're really here for. So, I don't know why, and what's the difference? When people buy new phones, what's the difference? Just because they put a letter right next to it, S, iPhone 6S, what's the difference from an iPhone 6? People always talk about the new phone, the new thing, because people just want to get the new update and everything that's going around them. Well, also, students start to become lazy and not work hard because they're just a finger click away from anything they need to know in life. And so, earlier, my sister, she does like this after school program, teaches like little 4th graders and stuff. And this little girl, Alexis, comes up to her and says, why do we have to do all this writing just for like multiplication? And she's like, why can't I just go on my calculator on my phone? It's so much easier, have the answer right there. Starting off that young of an age, already complaining about just doing, literally just writing like 4 steps, is pretty pathetic. Imagine her going to high school. That's going to be terrible for her, because you can't always just use your phone anywhere you go. So, this guy named Scott Jaschik, he is number one of the 3 founders of this higher education article, and he states that nowadays students are most likely to even just cheat on a test, exam, or anything to get information from because they're too lazy to go to a library or read what's in front of them when all the answers can be in a book simply in front of them. And in this picture here, this kid tried harder to cheat than actually just doing it himself. Imagine him trying to actually like learn the lesson itself, all the time he puts in to figure out how to cheat for a test, and actually try to study. I feel like I should turn off the lights so you guys see these pictures better. I'm trying to go and do that. See, like this guy. There's different ways to cheat right here. I even tried to do some different methods and stuff. I was in high school, not in this class at all. And just saying, I'm not a cheater at all, but it's just ridiculous on how kids now are just really tempted just to go on their phone just to see what's going on and not realizing anything that's going around them. Because lots of people miss the little things around them that could change their life, affect their life, and even others around them. And so, in conclusion, just with all the things that are just going around, I learned that I shouldn't be on my cell phone as much in class, and it's honestly affected me in high school too. I finished off with a 3.4, but I feel like I could have done better and paid more attention if I wasn't on my phone as much, because I was the kid who just loved being on his phone all the time, playing games, anything. And I feel like all of you guys, even the ones I've seen on their phones during this presentation, should even get off their phones. I'm not going to say any names, but thank you.
So, Alex, some thoughts, please.
All right. Well, I actually really like the attention getter because I can actually relate to it because I've done it where I've taken my girlfriend out on a date and then she's on her phone. That's annoying to me. The intro was pretty good. I believe there was a preview in there. I didn't really notice it though because you were kind of talking fast. So maybe just slow down with the intro a bit. I could definitely tell you knew what you were talking about because you very rarely read your cards. And I really like the amount of humor in the speech. It had my attention all the time. Your detail was very good in the supporting arguments, but again, with the missing preview, I didn't really know what the kind of like separations were. The conclusion was, it was like, it summed it up, but it didn't really cycle back to what you were talking about. Like, if that kind of makes sense. Like, it didn't go back to the start thing. You kind of had a bit of useless information in there, but that's just kind of nitpicking. The visual aids, you definitely could have done with like only 2 of. You had about 4 pictures up, and you only talked about 1 of them. But other than that, yeah, I liked the speech, and I felt like I could relate to it.
All right. I like the attention device, also the story about going out with your girlfriend and the frustration that you had. I understand that the term for that is fubbing. So, you heard that? Phone snubbing.
Oh.
So it's a contraction of phone and snub, and you've been fubbed. All right. So so the topic's pretty clear. I got a pretty general idea about where you're headed. I'm going to agree with Alex. I really didn't catch a preview, so I wasn't sure what the structure was going to be. And in the body of the speech, I didn't think I got much more effective in organization. I knew ideas as you were talking about them, but how they're connected to each other and how they were building on one another, that part seemed a little bit random. The visuals I thought were fine. I appreciated your turning the lights off because I didn't see the phone in the guy's lap in that first picture. And suddenly it jumped out quite a bit. The luminosity of the lamp jumped out, or the screen jumped out. Which, by the way, would happen when you turn off the lights in here and suddenly somebody's on their phone. Everybody we'd notice that. We'd say, hey, what the heck's going on? So I think that's a good tie-in that you could do on that. You do a nice job speaking to the audience for the most part. It sounds like it's mostly coming from your own personal frustrations, and I think you need to get some additional information into the presentation. You had the one source that you used that was an effective start, but after that, I just didn't hear much research in the presentation. I heard a lot of generalizations that were based on your assertions and your observations as opposed to any information that you had gathered on that particular point, which is so strange because you could just find it on your phone if you look for it. It would be right there. All right, thank you very much.